All right, Tennessee, let's give this a shot. I got home with my family just a little bit ago from church, and I woke up this morning thinking about a few things that I wanted to share with you now before the weekend kind of comes to a close. As of this morning, we are 43 days, I think, out from an election that I believe will be a major pivot point in America. Earlier this week on Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday morning is when I first saw it, a video surfaced of then California Attorney General Kamala Harris openly admitting to a reporter what we in the gun rights community have known about all of the Democrats' gun control proposals. But in this case, it was specifically the safe storage law, mandatory gun lockups is what we call them. And this is what she said. She said, and just because you legally possess a gun in the sanctity of your locked home doesn't mean that we're not going to walk into that home and check to see if you're being a responsible and safe in the way you conduct your affairs. I mean, and again, safe and responsible coming from the same government that sold guns to the Mexican drug cartels that were then later used to murder American citizens and Border Patrol agents like Brian Terry. And this is the same government that was responsible and safe when they left billions of dollars worth of real military ordnance on the ground in Afghanistan that's now being used by Taliban terrorists against those citizens. I think that tells, or brief moments of absolute truth coming from the radical left, I think that tells like her statement are very revealing. I think that if the Democrats win in November, God forbid, I think if the Democrats win in November, that we will see them become far more aggressive than ever before, with a whole lot less talking about what they want to do to us and a whole lot more trying to do it, which means a whole lot more tyranny. 15 years ago, if a Democrat candidate for president would have been caught on camera saying the things that Kamala said, the resulting clarion call would have absolutely crushed their party in the following elections. Just absolutely annihilated. And the same could be said, obviously, for the multiple assassination attempts. Would be an absolute destruction of the opposing party. But that is not what we are seeing right now. Instead, we are seeing a neck-and-neck battle to the finish here that spells, I think, very bad news for you and me if Kamala wins. And it's got a lot of people, it's got even my own children asking me, like, why is this happening? What is going on here? And I told him this morning, I'm like, hey, look, there's going to be books written about this stuff for years to come about tracing and tracking the cultural decline of America, into the absolute chaos that it came to. And of course, we've got to make sure that good books are written about that. But my knee-jerk reaction, my knee-jerk answer to them and to you and to that question would be a simple one. The left, and that is a huge pool. I mean, if I had to define left, I'd throw a lot of entities and organizations and stuff into it. The left now controls popular culture. They control America's institutions, our education system, our entertainment industry, legacy media, social media for the most part. But thank you for Elon Musk. And by the way, give me a follow on Twitter. The number 2 ADORRBRO. That's my handle on Twitter, Tuadorbro or X. But they control all these things: the cultural institutions, our education system, our entertainment industry, legacy and social media, and I got to throw this in there too, most of the government bureaucracy. They control all that. So when you combine that with their deliberate attacks on and destruction of the family, community, and church, the result is a society that, for lack of a better term, is manufacturing voters with every graduating high school class who are controlled by the culture instead of faith, reason, and common sense, all the pillars that built America in the first place. And thus, because that's how they are controlled, they are incapable of voting in ways that are not self-destructive. Because you can't look at a person like Kamala Harris and say, yeah, that's the way forward to building a better future. No, it's self-destruction. I think it's what Benjamin Franklin was talking about when he walked out of the Constitution Hall. The woman asked him, what do we have? And he said, a republic, ma'am, if you can keep it. Another founding father, President John Adams, he described what I'm trying to say perfectly. It's a very famous quote. He said, our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other. The Marxists, the radical, progressive, culturally Marxists on the left have for decades been taking a sledgehammer to the moral foundation of America in the deliberate attempt and effort and work to topple this American constitutional republic that we live in. And it sounds kind of crazy to say, but believe it or not, you and I have been coexisting in a country with people that want nothing more than to see America burned to the ground. I'm afraid, I'll just come out of that. I'm afraid that things may get worse before they get better. But that kind of brings me right back around to the November elections. Can the November elections, if they go our way, can they change the fundamental moral, political, and cultural problems that the left is manufacturing in this country? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know the answer to all of these questions. But let's look at it from the other side. But if these elections do go our way, I think it will hopefully give us the time that we need to that we need very badly to make course corrections and get on better footing for what lies ahead. That's my hope. That's what I hope to see as a result of these elections. If these elections don't go our way, I don't want the first time you consider that possibility to be the morning of November 6th. I don't want you to wake up Wednesday morning. Actually, we could only dream of it being so quick. They're going to do what they're going to do, so it'll probably be a week later. But I don't want that to be the first time you think about these things. So I want to come on here and encourage all of our members and supporters to dig in locally. Dig in locally as much as you possibly can. Get to know your neighbors. Do things with your neighbors. Do things for your neighbors. Expand the size of your local friend group. Develop some basic trust in each other and practice helping each other out. That'll develop their trust in you. And of course, we're a gun rights organization. So of course, I'm going to encourage you to get together with those neighbors, your church friends, your family, whatever, and go to the gun range. Practice some basic drills and tactics. And honestly, YouTube is loaded with excellent information on some of these basic things that you can do to better exercise your Second Amendment freedoms to defend yourself, your loved ones, your family, your community, and your neighborhood. All of these things that the radical left is working so hard to take a sledgehammer to. Turns out the Second Amendment brings you all closer together. These are good things to start thinking about right now. And I know it probably sounds silly, but I think I'd be silly if I didn't ask you a personal question. I've been in hurricane zones. Can you provide clean drinking water and sanitation for your family if the water faucet stops working? I've been doing disaster relief, hurricane response, tornado response. I've done tornado response ever since I was a little kid. And I know what life can look like and how difficult it can become very quickly if you don't have clean drinking water or the ability to have sanitation keep on going. Do you have those things? Can you eat for a couple of weeks? Can your family eat for a couple of weeks if your local grocery store suddenly stopped getting their daily food truck deliveries? I think we should start thinking about these things. It's 2024, and I don't like thinking about or talking like this more than anyone else. But corrupt governments and actors within those governments have rotted empires from within many times in human history. And when I see who is running America today at all levels, it is very clear that they are a rotting and corrupt class of people who have America's worst interests at heart. I really believe that. That's why they are allowing situations like what is happening in Springfield, Ohio, occur. That's why they're allowing what's happening at the border to occur, this invasion of our nation and the theft of our votes. They hate you. They hate me. They hate America. They hate freedom. They hate the Christian Western civilization principles that our nation was built upon. And many of them are deliberately trying to destroy this nation as a result. I wanted to mention a few of these things in a video to you guys, because the fact of the matter is I care about you guys and gals that make up the member of this organization in all of the Second Amendment fights that we've been in together over the last couple of years. I have developed many personal friendships with many of you, and the respect and affection that I've developed for you guys is all from the bottom of my heart. Strange times lie ahead of us. Strange times. I don't, if somebody had told me in 2019 how 2020 through 2023 was going to play out, I wouldn't have believed them. I would have said stuff like, yeah, right, for my cold, dead hands, or come and take them, or any of the things that I still meme about today. I would have just said, you're full of it. There's no way. But looking back now, I don't think it's a stretch of the imagination to say that some strange or bad things can happen in the years we face now. No matter what, I would say this organization remains totally committed to being your rock solid voice at the Capitol or in DC. And we promise, absolutely promise, to keep fighting hard as HE double hockey sticks, because these bastards are doing everything they can to destroy our Second Amendment rights. And it truly is the one right